The town of Harmony Ridge looked like your typical scenic neighborhood. A quaint little community nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling lake. It was the kind of place where everyone knew your name, and the biggest news was the Johnsons moving into the old Victorian house at the end of the street. But beneath this picture-perfect facade, a sinister secret had been brewing for years. People had been going missing. At first it was just an old woman who'd wandered off one day and never returned. Then a young mother of 3 who'd gone for a morning jog and never made it back home. And just last year, a high school student who'd been hanging out by the lake with some friends vanished into thin air. The local police had investigated each case, but all they had to show for it were a handful of missing person posters with sad, vacant eyes staring out from behind a layer of dust. The locals spoke in hushed voices about the disappearances, but no one wanted to talk to outsiders. And when I say outsiders, I mean me. I'm a true crime reporter who specializes in missing persons cases, and I've been sent here to uncover the truth about Harmony Ridge and its missing residents. I started by visiting the local newspaper office. They had a whole archive of the missing persons cases dating back to the 90s, but the more I dug through the files, the more frustrated I became. There was very little information about the cases. The articles were filled with speculation, rumors, theories, but nothing concrete. Then I decided to take a walk around town to see if I could find some answers. As I strolled down the main street, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. Every time I stopped to look around, I saw the same thing. A group of kids on bikes, a couple of elderly ladies sitting on a park bench, a lone man walking his dog. But their eyes, they were the ones that bothered me. They stared at me, not in a friendly way, but in a cold, calculating way that made me feel like I was being sized up, like I was the one who was being hunted. I tried to push the feeling away, but then I saw it. Hidden in plain sight was a strange symbol carved into the bark of a tree, a circle with a triangle inside of it. At first I thought it was just some kind of weird street art, but then I started seeing it everywhere, carved into the windowsills of the old Victorian houses, etched into the stone walls of the local pub, even spray painted on the side of a building. I was starting to feel really uneasy now. Who was putting these symbols here, and why? Was it some kind of gang initiation? A satanic ritual, or something more sinister? I tried to rationalize it, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized that I was in over my head. This town was hiding something dark, something evil. And I had stumbled upon it. I turned to leave, but then I felt a tap on my shoulder. I turned around and saw a woman standing behind me. She was one of the locals who'd been watching me, I realized. But as I looked into her eyes, I saw something else, a deep sadness, a profound loss. She opened her mouth to speak, but before she could say a word, she vanished into thin air. I blinked and suddenly she was gone. 1 second she was there, and the next she was just a memory. And then I saw it again, the circle with the triangle. It was carved into her hand. I reached out to grab her, but my fingers met empty air. And as the realization of what had happened dawned on me, I knew I had to get out of there fast. Make sure to share, like, and subscribe.